first started working with this coaching company, we were doing £15,000 months, and now we're hitting £12,000 in a day, which is $16,000. And this was a couple of weeks ago that we hit this record month, but then we did it again. We hit another £10,000 day, and this is not just revenue. This is cash collected. And as you can see here, we've got a variety of payment plans, but yeah, £12,000 of cash collected from this day. And you can see a variety of sources here. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact funnel that we run in order to get results like this and be able to track it and make it actually happen. So we've got 3 key sources here. And we don't have a huge organic audience, but we do have an engaged one. And that's going to be DMs and also just organic content that's getting a decent amount of leads for us. The founder just did decide to hop in and run some intro calls basically through DMs, through messaging and voice notes. So if you're someone running a coaching company and you just want a little push one time, just hop in the DMs and make that happen, because you're going to have leads there that are ready to convert and ready to essentially run an intro call with you. What we've been doing here is we've just been running straight to strategy calls. So I kind of just let him do his thing with the intro calls or intro messaging, and then I just set all the systems up on the back end to make sure that's trackable. The other thing, of course, is organic content. So he's posting every day, 5 days a week, and is going to a VSL funnel. So we've got this VSL funnel set up, and it's a warm VSL, which is slightly shorter than our cold VSL. And the important thing to note here is that we've got the DMs, the organic, and the paid, and the profiles surrounding all of these, they're all congruent, right? They all go through to one message, which means there's no confusion. This is just a 1 here. There's no confusion about what's going on. So this is super important if you do have multiple ways of acquiring clients, and it's very easy to get bogged down into one of the funnels that you're running, or like, let's fix the leak here. Just make sure that all of them are congruent, right? And that's a big part of our success. So this VSL, this warm VSL, is shorter, and it relies less on storytelling than our other one, the cold VSL, because we can run a shorter VSL here, and it makes sense to do so because people are already ready to essentially book right in. But what we do have is congruent messaging to the profile, congruent messaging to the content, to the DMs, and of course to the ads that they may see as well. All about one thing. And this is a B2B audience, by the way. And what happens from here? So just to break down exactly what's involved here. So it's essentially, it's going to be proof first. Then he jumps into a bit about the process, and then simply a call to action. And during this process, he's backing up every single time. So there's 3 parts to this process. He's backing up every single time with more proof. And what I see a lot of people miss, and you might have seen this in one of my other videos, is that when it comes to filming a VSL and sharing proof along the way, lots of people will like to just share a screenshot. Oh, this person did this person did this. Now that's great, okay? Like, it's better than having no proof at all. But if you've got this unique part of your process here, let's say the first part, let's tie it back to the first point. So let's say, let's move away from this B to B context, but if we were going B to C, let's say helping people do Airbnb arbitrage, for example. And the first part is all about your research, and it's all about how to find the right location. So you might say, okay, well, it's all about location first. Then what you want to do is, Mikey here, he was running an Airbnb business, but he just was losing money on it, all because of the wrong location. But then when we fixed the location, he was able to do this. Now, Mikey might have succeeded for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, but you just want to tie it to the first reason and the reason that you're actually explaining in your process. So then it just makes it hammer home that much better. I hope that makes sense. Just making sure you've got relevant proof here. Something I'd tap into a little bit more in one of my previous videos around after 105 VSL audits that I've done. Then call to action at the end. So it's a fairly simple warm VSL. Just well structured, and just make sure that you're not being boring there, and just approach it with your marketing head on, right? So then this goes to book intro, and then what's going to happen here is they go to a pre-call VSL. Now this pre-call VSL isn't anything crazy because we're actually running a two call close process. So before the first one, it's just going to be a quick 3-minute video. And all that is just explaining, okay, here's what's going to happen, here's who you're going to talk to, and so it's the what, the who, and what was the other part? Okay, and then reminders. So get everything set up, and then what are your next steps? So yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn if it's going to be that, or follow me over here, and it's going to be reminders of, okay, this is what you're going to get. You need to go and accept your calendar invite, etc., etc. So the what, the who, and then the reminders in that short 3-minute VSL. Then what's going to happen is that we actually have our setter to call instantly, because this person's booked right now. They're in pain right now. So we just want to capitalize on their feeling and their emotion at this present moment. So what happens is our setter is going to call them straight away. It's going to say, hey, I just saw that you booked in this call. And that call, for context, actually does go through to the setter as well. So the setter does handle that call. But he's going to take it straight away. And hopefully, if this person picks up and they've got time to run a quick intro, he's going to cancel the intro call and then book him straight to a strategy. So the reason we do that is we can get calls sooner in the diary with strategy calls with the closer. But then also we're capitalizing on that emotion and that initial desire that person's feeling right now, rather than letting it just go like this. So like, I'm in pain right here, and then I booked, but then over time I'm like this, and then they might end up taking the call here, and this is time, and then this is pain on this graph. So we want to speak to the person here when they're in, I guess, maximum pain. It doesn't sound too ethical, but you know, and yeah, that's just going to help us get results. So when you got your setter dialed in, this is a huge part of what's going to get you success. So intro, this can replace the intro call, but if not, we're going to get a bunch of emails here, and these are just a couple case studies, so 2 CSs, and then also reminders. And we do 48, I can't be bothered to do this, 48, 24, 1 hours before, and then we also do 5 minutes, okay? So then, goes through to the intro call. It's going to run exactly the same thing. Essentially, this is just a qualification call, just to understand, okay, where are you at right now? Where do you want to be? Are you someone who's actually going to be able to get the most out of our program? Are you the right kind of person fit? And also, are you the kind of person ready to invest and all of that kind of thing? That goes into booking the strategy call. And then from there, I'm going to go into that. But then let's first get back to the paid system. So this is going to be the hardest system to set up, because we're trying to convert a cold audience with paid. So there's money at stake, and you've got the least warm audience to work with. But when you crack it, you've cracked it, and you're a good marketer and everything like that. You can share, because all you need to do is just increase the money you're putting in, and then you increase the money you're getting out, as long as you've tracked the systems right. So there's so many different ways to run a paid funnel, but what we're doing here is a free training funnel with opt-in. So we've got an opt-in page all about this same point that we're actually sharing in the DMs, the organic, the profiles, everything like that, all around essentially how to grow your business. And we're collecting name, email, and phone right here. So we've tested a few different opt-in pages. I don't think this one's particularly pretty, but that's the one that performs best for us. So yeah, that's what we run. We get the opt-in, we get a message straight away in Slack, and then the intro call will get run by the setter. Now he's just going to dial in, ideally him or her, within 10 minutes. And that's usually the case, unless it's like middle of the night or weekend, Sunday, something like that. You won't get to them. Then they go to a cold VSL, and this one is relying a lot more on, this is more of the story selling funnel that I talk about. So we've still got the 3 points that we're going to cover as part of the process, but we also have a bit before this, which is more the origin story. So we go the origin story, and then we do get some conversions to the button straight away from that, because it's a well-told story. Then we go through the process, and then we tell stories, story, behind each part of the process. So then people are engaged. They're watching this video, but they're actually engaged watching it, because it's not like then you do this, then you do this, then you do this. But you're actually saying, okay, like, this is how I discovered this, and this is the change it made in my life, and these are the things I had at stake at that time. And it gets people on the edge of the seat, it gets people engaged, and they just feel seen at that point, because you're obviously telling a story in a way that resonates with your ideal buyer. But then also they're going to feel a lot more, their guard's going to come down, and they're going to be more receptive to the actual messaging. And then when we get to the end, the call to action, they're going to be like, okay, this is the logical next step, because I feel understood and I'm ready to go. So we can get conversions at each part of these journeys. A few people actually watch the entire video, and it's actually 52 minutes long. So it is quite a long VSL, to be honest, but a surprising amount of people actually watch the entire video. And yeah, that means it just makes the whole sales process a whole lot easier as well. So yeah, some people will get called straight away. Then they'll go through to this email sequence, and then also book their intro call. So I should actually do this if I can. So people do obviously book straight from the cold VSL. Some people don't book from the cold VSL, but they get the email sequence and they book their intro from there. But yeah, it's a good VSL, going through that story selling funnel that I talk about as well. And then we've also got the setter calling as well, all of the leads that come up. So then they go through to the intro call. And then we go to strategy. So you know how the intro call works. We do have the intro point here as well. And let's go to strategy. So when they book the strategy, what do they get? Well, the setter will send them a link to our program walkthrough video. And we've got really strong show up rates as it is, but we just wanted to make people a little bit warmer when they actually enter this closing call or this second call in the sales process. And what we've done here is we've taken this original VSL, and we've said, okay, well, people are already engaged. They already know to show up for the call. So we just do a quick condensation of that, basically, just saying, okay, here's what to expect. This is what's going to happen next. Make sure you've got this saved. But then he actually says, I'm going to walk through, and I scripted this video, but I'm just going to walk through the program and what we do. So here's what's involved. This is what you get. This is all the results that people get. So we've got the results, we've got the program walkthrough, and then we've got the common objections and FAQs as well. And we get objections, and it's going to be different depending on your coaching company, but we get objections mainly around time, to be honest. So we go heavy on the time objection, and we just make sure that everything's covered that we get in terms of what someone could be thinking. And we go through specific results of, okay, this is someone who entered our system. They were so limited in time. They had all of this going on in their life. But then we were able to help them out, and they were able to get these results. So if they had the time, this is going to work for you as well. So making sure that even with your FAQs, just like I said before, when it comes to talking about proof, about your process, this one, this is not going to make sense if you just looked at it. But when we talk about the process of 3 steps, and then you've got proof to back it up, also do that when it comes to your FAQs. So, this person has this objection. Okay, find that relevant client who got good results despite that objection, and then talk about them. So results, process, and then this is a full walkthrough. So this is a full screen share, and because of the fact I think the coaching industry kind of loses trust year by year. So we just want to be a step ahead of that. So that's why we make sure that we're just as transparent as possible at this point. So I was like to the founder, just make sure, like, don't worry about trying to make like some sort of marketing video. Just make it as transparent as possible. Lean on that trust, and just essentially reveal everything that we've got involved. This is what you get. This is exactly how it looks. This is what's going to look like when you jump in. And then these are all of the other people getting results, and then go into the questions, and then also just talk about the investment a little bit as well. Then from there, they get the emails. So this is going to be a few more case studies, and then also the reminders as well. And then finally, run the strategy call, and basically you just open up with, did you watch the video? Did you watch? Boom. And then you get a bit of an idea as to how you can actually pitch and what level at which someone's going to be engaged and their warmth and things like that. And then you make the offer. And then when you make the offer with a funnel that's constructed like this, you can have 5-figure days like this. And there's so much more that we're about to do with this company, and I'm excited for when we're hitting 150,000 pound months. I think we're about to do about 70. We've got 6 days left of the month, but I think we'll do about 70 something thousand month. And going from this, absolutely crushing it. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, or if you didn't enjoy it, I hope you found something valuable from it. I appreciate you watching, and if you do want someone to come in and help you hit 5-figure days, 6-figure months, then just click the link below. You'll go through to my website and you'll be able to book a call with me and we can chat about how we can make it happen for your coaching company. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.